Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about list. So I'll open my developer console. File, new, Apex class. So I have to give the class name here. I'll give the name as my class 1. Okay. So here in public my class 1, I'll use a method public void because void will not return anything. The return type is nothing in void. Public void method 1. Okay, so in this I'll use a list. So list, what is a list? List is nothing but it is used to store a certain set of values. List comes under non-primitive data type. List, set, map. So this comes under non-primitive data type. So whenever there are many values, more than one, we have to use list, because in case of primitive data type like int, float, long, double and all, only we could store only one value. But if what happens in case if we have many values, so in that case we have to use list to store those values. So public so I have used void method which will not return anything, and this is the access modifier. Okay, so it is public void method 1. So list of, let's take string list of string, my list is equal to new list of string. Semicolon. So here we are using list of string my list. So my list is the variable, and this will store the values in the form of string. Okay, only it can store only string, not any other type. So my list dot add Sumit, semicolon, save. So it got saved. So next I want to add one more value. So what I will do is my list dot add Hari. So now in this my list variable we are having two values right now, that is Sumit and Hari. So now I want to find out what are the values in this my list. So what I'll do is I'll use system.debug in order to print. So if it prints, we'll know what is stored in my list. System.debug. So this is used for printing, system.debug, and I'll print my list. So I'll go click on debug, open execute anonymous window, and here so how will I call this method? So for calling this method, what I will do, I'll use the class name and the method name. Class name and method name. So my class 1 is the class name. My class 1, anything, any variable or zz, it can be anything, is equal to new my class 1 semicolon. And now the method name. So now my class 1, how will I call is a question. So I have to use this variable. zz dot method name in order to call. Okay, so now just I will select this because here so many data is present, so I don't want to disturb them. So just I'll select this and click on execute highlighted. Now I'll click on debug only. So now we can see that the list contains Sumit and Hari. So these two are the string type present. So here make sure that you should not put it in inverted commas because this is the variable. So if you want to use the variable, use as it is, because if you use this inverted comma, it is not going to identify. And one more important thing is if it is integer and now when you try to save it, it will not save. Why? Incompatible element type string for collection of integer. So here we are passing the string. We are in my list variable, the type integer. So here we can store only what? Now we can store only integer, but here we are passing the string and my list is not going to accept that. If we pass the number, it will accept. So whenever we write a string, we have to write it in inverted commas. So this error can be removed if I pass some value 2 and 3. So now it is accepting because this is of the form integer. Previously it was in the form of string, so it is not going to accept if it is in the form of string. So make sure that whatever data type you are using, it should be of the same type. So again, same thing, debug, open execute anonymous, call the same method. Now you see what values are present in the list. So now 2 and 3 is present in the list. And here list can accept any number of duplicate variables, like my list dot add 3. Now if we put the duplicate variables, it is going to accept. So this form is acceptable in the form of list. But there is one more collection type, non-primitive, that is set, that we are going to discuss later. And set is not going to accept the duplicate, but list, there is no problem, we can easily use the duplicate. Okay, so it is printing, duplicates are getting printed. Okay, I'll show it here only, but let's make it as set. Set is another collection type, and now let's save it. Debug, open execute anonymous window. Now it is only 2 3. Why it is like that? Because set does not accept duplicates. List accepts duplicate, but set will never accept duplicate values. So that is the use of list and set. So generally there are lot of records we are querying, or lot of data present, so we cannot store it in a single variable. We will require list set for that. So that is the use of list or set.